Hey, I'm Scotty Rock.
And I'm Nate Danger.
Oh yeah, man, and today we're going to talk about...
We're going to talk about one of my favorite bands, The Darkness.
Alright, The Darkness.
Yes.
Fill us in, Danger.
Look, I grew up in the 80s. I was a big 80s hair metal fan.
Yep.
Loved the whole scene. Loved all the bands. Loved the underground scene. The dirty, sleazy rock. And then for a long time, it felt like there wasn't a band that really represented what I was enjoying musically, right? So I ended up sitting around and kept listening to the same music I'd been listening to over and over. Then I'm playing in a band, fast forward into 2003. My band that I was touring with at the time was called Slab Drab.
Oh my God.
Check him out.
And we toured kind of all over this beautiful country of ours and have opened up for a lot of great acts, and it was phenomenal. It was a really fun time. And then all of a sudden, our singer brought to my attention this band called The Darkness. Permission to Land. The album came out and I was blown away completely. This was everything I wanted in one tight package. It was 80s-ish.
Yep.
It was Queen-ish. It was falsetto-ish, rock-ish, every type of music genre spectacle that I wanted to see, all put into one single package. It was entertaining, it was funny, it was rocking, it was intelligent, and I would say Permission to Land, one of my top favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, wow. See, I'm not as big of a fan as you are, although at that time, I think it was... When did that album come out? Do you remember?
2003.
2003. So I Googled...
I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Touching you, touching me, touching you, yes, you're touching me.
Well, I Googled the albums that came out that year,
Yes.
just for like a frame of reference there, and there was nothing that was fun, funny, rock, glammy. There was nothing that was adventurous. And like you said, they're fun. They had some intelligent stuff. It was kind of like a wink and a nod, sort of British humor.
Oh,
like, the guy's
so good.
That guy's falsetto is insane. Hey,
So
like when he sings high, I noticed I was listening on the way over. When he sings high and then he goes into the falsetto, it's like he's almost in falsetto mode all the time. Like it's so effortlessly to jump back and forth for him.
But he's so talented.
So talented, yeah.
And okay, so it's a completely different style of singing from
That was
pretty
popular
much
at the
anyone.
time, yeah.
Or, well, how many people sing half of their repertoire in falsetto?
I know, I was singing that too on the way over.
Not a lot.
Paul Stanley, maybe, is the only one.
No, Polly doesn't sing a lot in falsetto.
That's who I think. When I picture falsetto, I picture Paul Stanley going.
But I was being beloved.
Yeah, right.
But Justin, he embraced the falsetto.
Yep.
He did, and he took it to the next level. And I don't think there's been anyone who's done that since,
No.
or done it as well as him.
No.
Look, Permission to Land comes out, huge album,
Mm-hmm.
UK band, massive, winning all the awards, playing sold out shows everywhere.
Right?
John Bon Jovi makes fun of them, right? Says they're a joke. Remember when that
I
happened?
don't remember that. No.
So that album came out, and John Bon Jovi, and I don't know if he was jealous or whatever was happening, he said The Darkness was a joke, which is kind of threw me off of Bon Jovi, I'll tell you that. Because I was already 100% committed
100%
to The
behind it.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Yes. Their guitar playing, the drumming, the production, the songwriting,
Yeah.
everything changed my whole life from that point on. They became one of my favorite bands.
I'm gonna agree with you on the sound of the album is fantastic. That guitar
Oh.
player rips the paint off the walls. It's awesome. I love the classic rock. I love the Marshall guitar tones that he's
Yes! Yes!
The big rock production.
Throw that in with some Freddie Mercury outfits?
Yeah. Hang on a second. I didn't realize this, but the drummer in The Darkness at that time was Roger Taylor's son, who's the drummer from Queen.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. That's why they're kind of Queenish. Is that why?
No, I think they just
Just
he
by-
really
by
likes
chance?
Queen.
So
Queen's
that-
one of the best rock bands
Ever.
ever.
Can't deny that. But I just found that interesting that the drummer was Roger Taylor's son, also plays drums. So who knew? You know, was that part of like them getting that record deal initially? Maybe.
No, but was it? It's Roger Taylor's son now, isn't it?
I think they had a few different drummers.
Rufus. Rufus
They've
is
had
the
some-
drummer now. Isn't that Roger Taylor's son?
Rufus.
Rufus.
I don't know. That's just a side note. I don't even know who's drumming anymore. But
Rufus. Rufus
okay.
is drumming.
and we talked about doing this conversation with the darkness, and so I
Do you
went.
know they said Rufus? Hold on, Rufus. They said they were scared because when Foo Fighters were looking for a drummer,
Oh really?
they thought Foo Fighters were going to be hunting
Oh yeah.
Rufus.
Yeah, because you're a big
Rufus.
Queen.
Yeah,
Or Taylor Hawkins was a big Roger Taylor fan.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Rufus he's an amazing drummer.
Oh man.
One of the best.
Well, anyway, so like the Darkness, the first album was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Second one wasn't as popular, but
So good.
it's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and then I think they broke up and they.
You know the problem with the second album?
Too much drugs, or
Well, the second album, Frankie Poulin, if that's how you say it, the bass player, Frankie Poulin was not present on the second album. He left the band,
Oh, yeah.
and he's such a great, phenomenal
bass player.
presence in that band. He's so cool, and I love Frankie Poulin. And I got to meet Frankie Poulin, and I got to meet Justin, and I got to meet Dan, and I got to meet Rufus, and you know what? We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But the second album, One Way Ticket,
One-way ticket to hell and back. On a one-way ticket to hell and back. One-way ticket to hell and back. On a one-way ticket to hell.
I can't say a bad thing about that album. For me as a fan, the diversity, the craftsmanship, the songwriting, everything is top notch. A little bit of a different style.
A little bit, yeah.
Felt like a little bit of a darker album, but I loved it. Couldn't get it out of my CD player.
Do you know what surprised me is the Darkness. Their albums just kept getting better and better.
Sure.
Yeah, since they kind of reformed in I don't know 2014 or something like that.
Came back with Hotcakes.
Was that Hotcakes? Was the
Hotcakes.
comeback?
Yeah, that was when they all got back together.
Yep.
And Hotcakes was okay. If I had to put it, I would rank it as one of my weaker Darkness albums.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
there's some good songs on it.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I love all Darkness albums, but it might come in my last place for Darkness albums.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was impressed by like their most recent Darkness album, like Motor something.
Motorheart?
Motor Heart, yeah.
Ah,
Man.
welcome to Glasgow! Oh!
I was like surprised because I was like, I listened to all the albums. I'm like, they kept getting better and better. I was like, wow.
Motorheart?
Motor Heart. It's awesome.
Oh, so good. So good.
Another album I liked was Easter is Cancelled, which I thought was a terrible name for an album.
Man, Easter's canceled.
It's so good.
Such a great. You know what? Look, I was just listening and coming back from the lake today. I was listening to Easter's canceled all the way back, right? And Rock and Roll Deserves to Die. Listen,
Yeah.
it's got elements of Zeppelin, of like Heart, of all this stuff. That's the thing I love about the Darkness
Yeah.
is they encompass so many different musical styles. And then you got things like Deck Chair, where he's writing a song about someone got rid of his deck chair and where's he gonna sit his ass. Like, how freaking cool is
Yeah.
that? And yet it's so good, so melodic. It's unbelievable. The Darkness catalog, I can't say a bad thing. Easter's canceled. Oh, love it.
Okay, I had to Google why did they call it that Easter is Cancelled, because it seems like when you kind of get religious on a rock album, you open yourself up for a little criticism or whatever. But I remember reading years ago in the news that they said they found the bones of Jesus. And then I had the same thought, does that mean Easter is Cancelled? And so when I saw that as an album title, I was like, is that why? But apparently not. It was just a thing that they put together.
I think it wasn't Easter's canceled because it came out during kind of COVID years, maybe not.
Oh, maybe. Maybe
I
that
don't
was the reason.
I don't know. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
But Heavy Metal Lover. looks so happy when you're carving meat. Like, who writes this stuff? It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
I know. From a guitar player point of view, I think that's awesome. As I was watching a YouTube video, and the guitar player, what's his name? You said Dave?
Well, Justin. Justin
No, it's
plays
the,
most of the leads.
It's the brother.
Dan.
Dan, right?
Dan
okay.
Hawkins.
He's like, this is how I use my Marshall head for any of the guitar players out there. He has 4 inputs in it. He has a splitter box that goes into each of those inputs.
Okay.
And so instead of having pedals and channel switchers and stuff, he just uses one head, and he uses each of those inputs because they each have a different gain stage in them. So if you're going from input 1 and then you collect input 2, it gives like more gain, more rock.
Really?
Input 3 has even more, and so on and so forth. So he uses all those inputs, like, because, we just plug into one input and have a bunch of pedals, and that's our tone stage, right? But he uses the amp as so pure tone, which I thought was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, so a little tip there if you got more than one input.
Little tip from Scotty Rock.
That's right, man.
I was lucky enough to see The Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I went to I won't say a little town in Canada. I went to a city in Canada, and I was fortunate enough to see The Darkness in probably a room that the seating capacity was about 300 people.
Oh, wow.
And this blew me away. Probably, I would say, my second favorite concert of my entire life. I've cried at 3 concerts. I've cried at 3 concerts, and I got to sit and tell Justin this, but I teared up at that concert.
Wow.
I was so happy. I was so overwhelmed. There was 300 people in a small room, and we get to see one of my favorite bands, and then here's the kicker. So made the trip with my singer at the time, my ex-singer, Mike, and we're both huge Darkness fans. And after the gig, we go to this club, not a club, but a pub, across the street. And lo and behold, The Darkness walks in.
Oh, yeah.
The Darkness walks in, and I'm just starstruck.
Yeah, right.
My wife is like, I gotta go talk to them. I gotta tell them, because you're the biggest Darkness fan I know. And so she goes up to them, says, hey, I bought a cameo for my husband's birthday last year that you're in and did.
Hey, I'm Justin Hawkins from The Darkness. You must be Nathan from Firing at the Sky. How wonderful to address you in this way. I've been asked by Jen and also your kids, London, Kennedy and Grayson, to wish you a happy birthday. Sounds like you're nearly as old as me. Well done. And as a bass player, I'm sure you'll appreciate this next song that I'm going to perform, especially for you, which will be in the key of A. It's somewhat of a standard. I think the composer was Trad R. If I fuck it up, I'll try not to... I'll show you a good way to bluff through a fuck up. I mean, I'm sure you've been in the business long enough to know how this works, but watch this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. What the fuck? Oh! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nathan. Happy firing at the sky, love from Jen and London, Kennedy and Grayson. Oh, happy birthday to you. Yeah. Have a great one. Keep your hands clean. Don't touch your face. See you soon.
And all of a sudden, Justin was very interested, so he comes over and he sat with me, literally beside me at the table. Justin sat with me for probably 45 minutes. We got to hang with Dan and Frankie and Justin. Rufus, I think he was playing pool at the time. But anyways... It was the coolest night experience of my
Oh, that's so
entire
awesome.
life.
So cool.
Honestly.
having a beer with your like rock idols. That's rad, man.
Well, he was drinking non-alcoholic beer.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't drink beer.
Mmm.
But he drank non-alcoholic.
Still gamer, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so unreal.
Oh,
And that was before he started Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Because
Oh,
now,
wow.
I mean, he's probably more famous from
From his YouTube channel.
his YouTube channel, podcast stuff,
Yeah.
than he is from the darkness. But he's like such an amazing, talented. He's the full package.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, actually, watching a few of his shows on YouTube. How awesome, like how he breaks down the songs and thinks about things. You know, like it takes a certain kind of person to kind of connect those dots sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unreal. And guess what? We're
What?
the same age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He is actually, I can't do the math in my head, but his birthday is March 17th of 75, and I'm May 15th of 75.
Oh,
so
man.
we're less than 2 months apart. Less than 2.
Rock. And here we are.
Yeah.
Not in a rock.
We could be friends, me and Justin.
You
Call
guys-
me up, buddy.
You guys,
Call me up.
you guys would totally be friends. I know it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got his cameo.
We should.
It's like we know each other. And we hung out. Yeah.
Our cameos pre-recorded because maybe we should like.
Oh, I got the cameo. I'm going to place the cameo
Maybe
on
we
there.
should hire some cameos and then just sort of.
You and me should do cameos. Like someone would pay us to, hey, we're going to sing happy birthday to you.
Man, you pay us enough, we'll just go right to your birthday party, bud. We'll bring the
That's
beers.
right. We'll
Yeah.
make the trip.
We'll make the party.
Cool.
That's
Anyways,
a good one.
Darkness, love it.
Yep.
One of my favorite bands.
Darkness, not one of my favorite bands, but I do
Out.
like them, and
Get out.
I've
Get
really
out.
enjoyed their entire discography. I'm not as
Yeah.
big of a fan as you are, but I'm a new fan, so I'm a different sort of style of fan.
I'm going to throw this out there. Second favorite band of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Second.
that's huge.
That's Silver Metal.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Who's the first?
Kiss.
Okay, who's the third then?
I don't know. Bullet Boys?
Living it all the way. Time to fly, hit the sky like a motherfucker pushing the day by day.
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. Permission to land?
Landed.
Permission granted.